This conference will now be recorded.
So I'm going to search for VirtualBox here, and then I can click on this VirtualBox and right click, start, normal start. So as I told, it will take anywhere between minimum 4 minutes to maximum 10 minutes of time for this Cloudera start time to come up, depending on the RAM that we give, right? So meanwhile, I'll just try to open up the presentation. So just a quick recap of what we learned yesterday before starting today's session. So yesterday we spoke about the different types of or different flavors of Linux, right? And also we started our discussion with directory. You have seen how to use mkdir command to create a directory. So we have also seen how to create a single directory. We have seen how to create multiple directories. We have also seen how to create hierarchical directories or multi-level directories. Then we have seen how to remove the directories by using rmdir. So rmdir command removes only the empty directory. Remember that. If the directory is empty, that's well and good, right? We have also seen how to remove multiple empty directories. But if the directory is not empty, then we have seen how to use rm with recursive way, rm with -rf option, and then give the directory name whichever you would like to delete. Also, we spoke about PWD. PWD stands for print working directory or present working directory, which is used to figure out the exact location where you are currently working on. And then we have seen about CD. CD basically stands for change directory. If you want to move from one directory to other directory, we will use CD command. We spoke about home directory. Every user will get a home directory on a given big data server or big data cluster. Also, we have seen what is the difference between child directory and parent directory, right? So dot represents the current directory, double dot represents the parent directory. These are all the options that we have seen with respect to CD, right? Then we spoke about Linux path completion, which is very, very important because this will be very helpful in the projects. This will save a lot of time and effort for you. It will increase your productivity if you use it in the correct way. And we have also seen how to use man and help to get more information about any given command, right? So before starting today's session, any questions anybody have, let me know. I'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes here. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat box. Also, some of you have some issues with respect to Cloudera Quickstart VM. If you have any issues, keep your virtual machines ready. I'll help you out at the end of today's session, right? Okay. I believe there are no questions from yesterday's session. We are good so far. Let's start with today's session. So today we will start our discussion with VI editor. So this is very, very important concept, guys. So remember that, this is asked quite a lot in the interviews as well as in the project. So basically, once you join any project, the expectation is that you must already be knowing VI editor, right? So this is very, very important. So let's talk about VI editor. First of all, what is an editor? Editor is used to edit any file. If you take Windows, you're going to get a default editor called as Notepad. But in Linux, we have an editor called as VI editor. VI editor stands for Visual Editor. So this editor works in two modes. One is called as command mode. The other one is called as insert mode. In the command mode, as the name suggests, we are going to enter the commands. In the insert mode, as the name suggests, we are going to insert the text or we are going to add some content to the file. So again, let me tell you upfront. So this will be a little tricky. So learning VI editor will take some time. Don't worry about it because this is very much needed in the industry. If you practice 5-6 times, you should be able to get it. But don't worry about it. But understand the importance of it. This is very, very important in the projects. So I have noted down all the shortcuts that I'm going to use in VI editor, and I'm going to go through each of these one by one. So let us start with the hands-on. So I will open the Cloudera Quick-Start-VM. So you can see that as soon as you open the Cloudera Quick-Start-VM, this is how it will look like. You can close the messages that are showing at the top right corner, the blue color cross box. I'm going to click on them to close. And this is the browser. I don't need this for now. I can close this as well. So first step is I'm going to open my terminal. Right click anywhere on the desktop, say open in terminal. Maximize this. Increase the font, click on view and click on zoom in twice. Now I'm going to create a file. So if you look at on the desktop, I don't have any files. I'm going to create a new file by using VI editor. So the syntax goes this way: VI space the file name. Let's say the file name is sample.txt. So this is going to create a file with the name called as sample.txt by using VI editor. So let me open up this file. So as soon as you open the file, you have to look at the bottom left corner. So the bottom left corner is an indication that whether we are in the command mode or in the insert mode. By default, we will be in the command mode. Now how to go to the insert mode? Because if I have to add the content, I have to be in the insert mode. To go to the insert mode from the command mode, I'm going to type I on my keyboard. I is meant for insert. As soon as I type I, you can see it's showing as insert at the bottom left corner. But suppose let's say I want to go to command mode from the insert mode. You just have to type escape on the keyboard. I'm going to type escape on the keyboard now. If you're not seeing anything at the bottom left corner, you are in the command mode right now. But I want to add the content, hence I have to be in the insert mode. To go to the insert mode, I'm going to type I. Once you type I, immediately I'm in the insert mode. So let us add some content. This is sample.txt. That's it. I just want to add one line. Now I wanted to save this file. Now to save this file, I have to type a command. Now to type a command, I have to be in the command mode. But right now I'm in the insert mode. Look at the bottom left corner. To go to the command mode from the insert mode, you have to type escape on the keyboard. Once you type escape, look at the bottom left corner. You're not seeing anything, which means you are in the command mode right now. Now to save and come out of this file, you have to say :WQ. So the meaning of this is nothing but W is nothing but write, Q is for quit. That is save and come out of this file. Look at the bottom left corner. I'm going to hit enter. Let us look at the desktop. On the desktop, I can see a file called as sample.txt. Double click on it. You can see the content as well. So that's how we have seen how to create a sample file by using VI editor. So let us open the file again. VI space the file name. Enter. As I told, by default it will be in the command mode. Look at the bottom left corner. If you're not seeing insert, that means you are in the command mode right now. But now I want to add more content. I will go to the insert mode. Type I. You are back to the insert mode. So let us add more content. I'll say I'll try to add some colors. Let's say red, green, and then blue. Let me add some month names. Let's say Jan, Feb, March. So I have added some content. Now let me tell you one of the common mistake people do. So once you join any project, there might be some existing scripts, and oftentimes if you are using VI editor for the first time, you may make some mistakes while editing the file. That's common, don't worry. But you have to safely come out of that existing real-time project scripts without making wrong changes. Now imagine that I have added these words by mistake. I want to safely come out of this file without making these wrong changes. How do we do that? we can actually go to the command mode again, type escape to go to the command mode. I'm in the command mode right now. I'm going to say :Q. So :Q is nothing but just quit from the file, don't save anything. Enter. So you have to type exclamation symbol also here. So say escape :Q0. This exclamation symbol is spelled as not. Escape :Q0, that is quit from the file, don't save anything, because I have added some wrong changes. I will have to safely come out of this file. Hit enter. You're back to your desktop again. If you open the file again by using vi space file name, you don't have any wrong changes. That is very, very important, guys, because a lot of times when you start editing the files, it's quite common that there might be some mistakes. Sometimes it may be intentional, sometimes it may not be intentional. In that case, you have to safely come out of the file without making any wrong changes. So using :Q0 will help you to do that. But suppose let's say that I don't wanted to modify the content, I just want to see the content. Then you can open the file in the read-only mode also. Type -R and then the file name. Enter. Look at the bottom left, it's showing as read only. That is, you have opened the file just to read the file, not to modify anything or not to add anything. This is one of the safest option to see the contents of a file without making any changes. So we have seen how to create a file by using VI editor. Also, we have seen how to see the contents. But to open the file in the read-only mode, you can use -R and then the file name. So we have also seen how to use :Q0 to quit from the file, to come out of the file without saving anything. We have also seen how to use :WQ to write and quit, that is save and come out of the file. Now let's talk about :W. So sometimes you may be suppose let's say that you are working on Windows machine and you have opened some MS Word document, you are trying to add something. So we have the general habit of saving the file by using Ctrl+S at regular intervals of time, because you don't want to lose the work that you have done, right? So you oftentimes you have to type Ctrl+S to save and come out of the to save the file, right? In Windows, basically in MS Word document, because you don't want to lose the work that you have done till now. Similar thing that you can do in VI editor also. Let me open the file. I'll go to the insert mode by typing I will add the content. So I can just say I am trying to add more content into this file. So you can see that I have added 3 lines, but I'm not yet done. I have to add more content. At the same time, I don't want to lose all the work that I have done till now. So in that case, what I could do is I can again go to the command mode by typing escape:W. That is, just write the content, that is save the content. Look at the bottom left corner. I'm typing just :W. Hit enter. You can see it showing us some characters written. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm staying in the same file. I want to add more content. At the same time, I don't want to lose the content that I have added till now. So that's why I'm going to use :W. So let me again go to the insert mode. Let me just add some color names again. Let's say red, green, and then blue. Again, I want to save the contents again. Just go to the command mode, escape:W, enter. You can see some characters written. So that's how you're going to save the content. So now if you accidentally come out of this file also, you're good, because you have saved your content. Let me come out of this file. If I open the file again, my contents are saved, right? So that's how you can use :W, which will write the content, which will save the content. This is very, very important, because especially if you're working on a huge file, you have to save your work at regular intervals. Otherwise, you will lose your work. If you don't save it, if you accidentally come out of that file by using :Q0, you will lose the important work that you have done. That's why, it's important to save the work at regular intervals of time by using :w. Now let's talk about dd. So dd is used to delete a line. So let's talk about it. But before talking about deleting, I want to talk about yy. Yy is used to copy the file. Yy is used to copy the file. So let me just go to my local machine. So I want to make one important point here. So basically, yy is nothing but yanking. Yanking is nothing but copying. So yy can be used to copy the given line. So let's go here. So let's say that I wanted to copy this line called as add more content. So what I could do is I'm already at this line. So I'm going to type yy on my keyboard. So I've typed yy. Now if you want to paste it, you just have to type p on the keyboard. You can see as soon as you type p, it started pasting it. Let's say I want to paste the same line 10 times. Let's say 10, number 10 and then p. You can see it showing us 10 more lines. So that's how you can add the specified number of lines by using number 10 and p. Let's say I want to add same line 5 times. Then in that case you have to type number 5 and then p. So that's how you can copy a line by using yy and paste it by using p. Now you can also use dd to remove a line. Let's talk about dd now. I'm going to type dd so that I can remove a line. So you can see I have started removing the lines one by one. Suppose I wanted to remove let's say I want to remove 5 lines at a time. You can say number 5 on the keyboard and then dd. I'm going to type number 5 and then dd immediately. You can see it showing as 5 fewer lines. It means it removed 5 lines. So that's how you can use dd to remove a file. Sorry, remove a line. So you can even use X on the keyboard to remove a character or a letter. So let me type X on the keyboard so that it will remove one by one character or letter. You can see as soon as I type X, it started removing the lines one by one. Right? Now let's say that okay, you're trying to modify the file, but you have made these changes accidentally in a wrong way. Now I have to safely come out of this file without making any existing changes, because whatever changes I've done is wrong. Imagine that is the situation. I can just type escape : q0. Open the file again. My file changes are still there. Right? So now let's talk about using :set nu to see the line numbers. So I'm going to type :set nu to see the line numbers. :set and then nu.
I'm sorry to disturb you. Can you explain about the X ones? X.
Yeah, sure. I will do that. 1 minute.
Yeah.
So you can see :set nu. Nu is nothing but it's going to give the line numbers. You can see it's giving you the line numbers. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about X one more time. So X is used to remove any given character or letter. So right now I'm at line number 3, and my cursor or my pointer is at first character, which is nothing but add a. I'm going to type X on my keyboard. You can see it started removing one by one character or one by one letter. Right? So that's how you can use X to remove one by one character or one by one letter. Does that answer your question, Kiran?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, exactly.
You got it, right? Okay, fine.
Thank you so
Now
much.
let's sure. I want to come out of this file. I can just type escape : q0. Open the file again. Your contents are still the same. Right? Also look at one more important thing here. If you can see at bottom right corner, you can see 4,1. The meaning of this is my cursor or my pointer is at line number 4. If you start counting from top, 1, 2, 3, 4 line number, and then my pointer is at first column or first column, I would say, or first character. right? So suppose let's say that I wanted to go to line number 1, then I can type colon and then that particular line number. So to go to a specific line number, you have to type colon n, that will take you to that particular line number. So when will this be useful? Let's say that you are working on a file and it is of 1000 lines and you have to go to line number 801. So to go to line number 801, if you go to that by using sequentially line by line, it will take a lot of time, right? Because the file is of 1000 lines. If you want to go from line number 1 to 801, it will take a lot of time because you have to go to sequential. You have to go sequentially. But there is one important shortcut that you can learn here. You can just say colon and then that line number. Let's say I want to go to line number 1. Hit enter. You can see that I am at line number 1. Let me also enable this colon set anew. So you can see that I am at line number 1. I want to go to line number 3. Just say colon 3. I'm at line number 3. I want to go to line number 7. Colon 7. I'm at line number 7. I want to go to line number 1. Colon 1. Enter. I'm at line number 1. So this is very, very important, especially if you're working on huge files, because in big data, most of the times we'll be dealing with huge files. So if you're working on some huge files, if you want to go to a specific line number, this is very, very important. Colon n, that will directly take to the particular line number. Guys, this is enough. So whatever you have learned in VI editor is more than enough. So again, there are plenty of shortcuts in VI editor, 60, 70 shortcuts. You don't need to learn all of them. To get the job done in the project, these shortcuts are more than enough. I know some of you might be finding it little hard to understand VI editor. That is common because as a beginner, if you're seeing VI editor for the first time, you may find it little hard. That's absolutely fine. But you have to overcome that by practicing it 5 or 6 times. And that should be more than enough. And another important thing is it is expected that you already know VI editor in the projects. If you join any project, when you start interacting with your colleagues, it's almost expected that you already be knowing VI editor. So my suggestion is to practice this at least 5 times to be good at it, right? I know it's little hard, especially the VI editor part, but you have to practice 5 times to be good at it. You don't need to learn everything. Whatever I'm covering it here, this should be more than enough. Okay. So before moving on to other concepts, I want to ask here, so if you have any questions in VI editor, let me know. I'll wait for a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat box. I'll wait for a couple of minutes before moving on to the next concepts, because this is really important concept. I believe we are good so far. I think there are no questions. Let's move on.
Can we move cursor to the end of the line, or cursor will always be at the starting point of the sentence?
No, you can actually take it manually also, right? So let's say the cursor is at starting point right now. Yeah, so especially to navigate between the lines, so it will always be at the first line. Suppose if you want to go to the last character of a line, it doesn't take much time, right? So how many characters are here? Not even 18, right? So it doesn't take much time, right? Moving within a line is not a problem. Moving among the lines is a problem, right? So if you want to go from line number 1 to line number 801, that will take a lot of time. But moving to the last character of a line doesn't take much time, right? So that's where we are going to use colon n, right? I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, let's move on. I think we are good so far with respect to VI editor. Again, just to reiterate one more time, please practice VI editor at least 5 times if you're seeing VI editor for the first time, because this is very, very important. Okay, let's move on. So let's talk about how to deal with the files. So we have seen how to create a file with some content by using VI editor. But what if I want to create some empty files? So right now I don't have any files apart from sample.txt on my desktop. I'm going to use a command called as touch command to create an empty file. Touch space, let's say a.txt, enter. So this will create an empty file for me on my desktop. You can see that I have a file called as a.txt created. Now the question is, how can I confirm that this is an empty file? Right click on it, then click on properties. You can see the size it's showing as 0 bytes. So this is an indication that this is an empty file. So we can create an empty file in Linux by using touch command. Now can it create multiple empty files in a single shot? Yes. Let's say touch b.txt c d.log. Again, these extensions such as .txt, .log, these are not mandatory. This is just to tell you that we can create all such files. Enter. So you can see that I have all those files created on my desktop. So that's why by using touch command, we can create a single empty file, or we can even create multiple empty files in a single shot. Let's talk about cat command. So cat command is again very important. So cat command is used to create the contents of a file. So you can use the syntax cat greater than file name, and then you can add the content to your file. Then you can press Control D. That will actually save your file contents. Let me show that. So here you can go back, cat greater than file1.txt. So if you look at the desktop, I don't have the file called as file1.txt. I'm going to create a file called as file1.txt. Along with that, I want to add some content into that file. I can do so by using cat command. Cat greater than file name, enter. I will add some content. This is file1.txt. Enter. So here I just want to add only one line. I'm done. Now I want to save and come out of this file. To save and come out of this file, you have to type Control and D on your keyboard. Let's do that. I've typed Control D. I'm back to my normal Linux terminal. If I can go and check on my desktop, I can see a file called as file1.txt. Double click on it. You can see the contents. So that's how you can actually create a simple file along with the contents by using cat command. Not only that, you can even use cat command to display the contents. Cat space the file name. You can see the contents. So cat command serves two things. One is to create a file with some content and to display the contents of a file. So we have seen how to create a file. We have also seen how to display the file. Let's talk about rm command. Before talking about rm command, I want to give you a caution. So generally in Windows operating system, if you delete any folder or a file, you can still go to your recycle bin and recover it or restore it. Of course, if you haven't done shift delete. If you do shift delete, that's a permanent delete. But if you haven't done shift delete in Windows, you can go to your recycle bin, right, to recover it or restore it. But in Linux, if you delete something, that's a permanent delete. You cannot recover it again. Let me repeat that. If you delete something in Linux, that's a permanent delete. You cannot recover it again. This is very, very important to understand, because in the projects, make sure that you don't delete any files, right? Because you never know when you're going to read that file again, right? So very, very important point to be noted is never delete anything without taking any backup of the file. I will tell you how to take a backup in a while, but remember an important point: never delete something without taking any backup. Okay. So now I will show you how to use rm command to remove the files and to remove the folders. So let me go back to my Cloudera Kickstart VM here. You can see that there are some files on my desktop. I wanted to remove a file. Let's say I wanted to remove a file called as a.txt. rm space, the file name is a.txt. Enter. You can see that it is asking me for the confirmation whether you want to delete it or not. Suppose if I say n, which is nothing but no, If I go and check on my desktop, I can still see that file called as a.txt. That's not yet removed. Suppose let's say I wanted to delete it. I'm confident now. I'm deleting the correct file. Then I can just type y. Y is meant for yes. So if you can go and check on your desktop, the file a.txt is gone. It was supposed to be here. Now a.txt has been deleted by using rm command. I don't want to see this confirmation message every time, right? You can skip that by using rm with f option. F is nothing but forcefully removing it. So let us remove the file called as b.txt. I'm going to give b.txt. Hit enter. Sorry, hyphen. I forgot to give hyphen option. rm with hyphen f. So you can see that it's not asking me for the confirmation. At the same time, if you can go and check on your desktop, I don't see the file called as b.txt that has been deleted. So b.txt, which was supposed to be here, is gone. It's not there. Right? So that's how you can forcefully remove a file by using hyphen f option. Now I wanted to delete multiple files. Suppose I wanted to delete a file called as c as well as d.log in a single shot. I can do that by using rm with hyphen f option. B is the file name and c.log is the file name. Sorry, I think the file names are wrong. So c and d.log. Yeah. So this will remove both the file name c as well as d.log in a single shot. You can see both are gone. Now I want to remove sample.txt and file1.txt. Do you see anything in common between these two? Both these are ending with .txt, right? Now I can use that to delete these two files in a single shot. Let me show that. rm space star.txt. What is the meaning of star? It's nothing but wildcard character in Linux. That is, whatever may be the file name, if it is ending with .txt, then I'm going to consider them for deletion. Enter. So 1 minute, just a minute. So rm with hyphen f option again. rm with hyphen f, then give that. Now both the files should be deleted. I don't see those two. So that's how you can use the wildcard character called as star. The meaning of star is nothing but whatever may be the file name. If it is ending with .txt, then I'm going to consider them for my deletion. Right. So that's how we have seen how to use rm command to remove a file. So we have also seen how to remove multiple files by using rm command. We have also seen how to remove the files based on the file extension. And this I have shown yesterday already, right? So how to remove a non-empty directory? We can remove it by using recursive way. Either hyphen capital or hyphen smaller, both will work. It will remove the given folder or a directory in a recursive fashion. So again, I told that whenever you delete something in Linux, that's a permanent delete, right? Never delete anything without taking any backup. The question is how to take a backup. You can take a backup of a file by using cp command. So let me show that. So I'm going to use cp command to create a copy of a file or a backup of a file. If I go and check on my desktop, I don't see any files. Let me create a file by using touch command. Touch space file1.txt. So I can see the file called as file1.txt. I can add the content to this file as well. So cat greater than the file name. This is file1.txt. Control D to save and come out. Go and check on the desktop. I can see a file called as file1.txt. Check the contents of it by using cat command. This is the content. Right? Okay, there is one question in the chat. Let me read that question. So this is the question that I've got. The question I got is this: how can we delete different file formats at a time? Okay. Basically, to answer that question, I have to create some files. Okay, let me answer that question first. Let me repeat the question. How can we delete different file formats at a time? Okay. So right now we have only one .txt file. Let me create some more files. Let's say touch file2.txt, touch file3.txt. And also I will say touch a.log, b.log, c.log. So I have some .txt files, I have some .log files. So my goal is to remove all of them together in a single shot. Let's give it a try. rm with -f, star.txt, star.log. Let's give it a try with this. Enter. That worked, right? So this is how you can remove multiple files of different file formats also together by using this. So Radha, I hope that answers your question, right?
Yes, Vamshi, thank you.
Yeah. So that's how you can remove different file formats single time. Okay, coming back to the original point. So I was talking about CP. So to talk about CP, let me create one more file. Cat greater than file1.txt. This is file1.txt. And I have the file created. If you go and check on your desktop also, I can see the file. My goal is to create a copy of this file because I want to delete this file now. But never delete anything without taking any backup. So let's take a backup. CP space the file name and then your backup file name. Let's say file1 underscore backup.txt. If you go and check on your desktop, I can see the backup file with the name called as file1.txt. File1 underscore backup.txt. That is my backup file for the file1.txt. Now, when I say backup, the contents must be exactly same. Let us verify that. Now, can you see the contents? The contents of this backup file is same as that of my original file. Now, if I want to remove my original file, I'm good so far. Let me remove the original file, rm with -f, file1.txt, enter. Right? Now, if you go and check on your desktop, file1 is gone. But I don't need to worry because I do have the backup file. Even if I need this file1 after 3 months, I can just take this backup file and then rename it. That's it. The point which I want to make clear here is never delete anything without taking any backup. So that's an important thing. So we have seen how to create a copy of a file or backup of a file. Not only that, cp command can also be used to copy a file into a directory. I don't have any directories now. I'm going to create a directory. mkdir space d1. I have a directory called as d1. d1 is an empty directory now. I want to copy this file1 underscore backup.txt file into d1. I can use cp command. cp space file1 underscore backup.txt. Destination is d1. Right now, if you go and check d1, I can see the file called as file1 underscore backup.txt. Right now, I want to copy multiple files. I don't have multiple files on my desktop. Let me create some more files. Let's say touch a.txt, b, c.log, d.txt. So I have created some files on my desktop. Suppose I wanted to copy the files called as let's say that c.log and b, I want to copy it into d1. I can do that. So cp space c and b, I want to copy into d1. So this will copy both c.log and b in a single shot into d1. Go inside d1 and check. I can see b, c.log and file1 underscore backup.txt. Okay. Now I want to create a new directory called as text directory. Let me create that. mkdir space text directory. I can see on my desktop I have a directory called a text directory created. That's an empty one. Now, as the name suggests, I want to copy all the .txt files on my desktop into this text directory. How can I do that? cp space start.txt text directory. This will copy all the .txt files on my desktop into directory called as text directory. Go to text directory and check. I can see that only .txt files are available here, right? So that's how you can copy the files based on the extension as well. Now, suppose let's say I wanted to remove this directory called as text directory. But what have we learned? Never delete anything without taking any backup. So I'm going to create a backup directory for text directory. So let me create a directory for the same. mkdir space text directory underscore backup. So I can see the backup directory here, text directory underscore backup. There is nothing. My goal is to copy everything that is there in text directory into the text directory underscore backup because I wanted to remove text directory. So what I would do is cp text directory /* text directory underscore backup. So what is the meaning of this? Copy all the contents from text directory into text directory underscore backup. Enter. Now go to text directory underscore backup. I can see all the contents from my text directory copied here. Now if I wanted to remove this directory also, I can do that. Suppose I want to remove text directory, I can do that. So I can say rm with -rf. So yesterday I think I have shown with small r here. Now I'm showing with capital R. This will work. Text directory. This will remove it completely, and I still have the backup directory available in the form of text directory underscore backup. Hit enter. So text directory is gone from my desktop, but I do have the backup directory, right? So text directory underscore backup contains all the backup files, all the files from my text directory. So even if I need this directory after 6 months, I just have to rename the file, rename the directory. That's it. So the point is very clear. Never delete anything without taking any backup. So that's how cp command can be used to copy a file into a directory. We have also seen how to copy multiple files into a directory. We have seen how to copy multiple files with the same extension into a directory. And we have also seen how to copy directories between one directory to other directories. So I want to talk about mv command, but I will talk about it tomorrow because some of you have some issues with respect to Cloudera Quick Start VM setup. I'm going to fix those issues now.